There comes a moment in every life when the facade becomes too heavy to carry. The energy it takes to maintain the mask, to project an image of what you think you should be, drains the very life force meant to be expressed as you. The pretense isn't who you are, it's simply a role, a construct of thought, shaped by the expectations of the world. Freedom is not something you find outside yourself. It isn't a destination you reach after years of striving, nor is it granted to you by external circumstances or people. True freedom begins the moment you decide to let go of the exhausting effort to be someone you are not. The weight of pretense, the constant need to project an image, to fit into expectations, or to conform to an identity that isn't truly yours creates an invisible prison. This prison may seem like it keeps you safe, but in reality it keeps you from the very essence of who you are. Pretense is a habit born of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. Over time, this fear convinces us to wear masks, to play roles that society, family, or culture dictates. The problem is that these masks, while they may feel protective, separate you from your inner peace and joy. They alienate you from your true self and from others, because authentic connection can only happen when you are willing to show up as you truly are. Embracing your authentic self is not about striving to be different or unique. It's about removing the layers of conditioning and expectation that have been placed upon you. Authenticity isn't something you create, it's something you uncover. It's the natural state of being that remains when you stop pretending. The first step to shedding pretense is awareness. Notice the moments when you act or speak in ways that feel forced or misaligned with your inner truth. Ask yourself, am I doing this to gain approval? To avoid discomfort? To fit into someone else's narrative of who I should be? These questions help you discern the difference between your genuine self and the roles you've been playing. Once you recognize the weight of pretense, you can begin to let it go. This doesn't mean rebelling or rejecting everything society asks of you. Instead, it's about aligning your outer actions with your inner truth. It's about saying yes to what resonates deeply within you and no to what doesn't. It's about courage, the courage to stand in your truth even when it's uncomfortable, and to trust that who you are is enough. When you start living authentically, you'll notice a profound shift. The energy you once spent maintaining a facade is now freed up to flow into things that truly matter. Your relationships deepen because people are drawn to your genuine presence, not the mask you used to wear. You feel lighter, more at ease, and more alive because you are no longer burdened by the need to pretend. True freedom is not found in perfection or in meeting external expectations. It is found in the radical act of being yourself unapologetically and wholeheartedly. It is in this state of authenticity that you discover the peace and joy that have been waiting for you all along. Life, in its most profound essence, is not happening yesterday or tomorrow. It is happening now in this very moment. Yet so often we find ourselves pulled away from the present, either revisiting the past or anxiously projecting into the future. This habitual disconnection keeps us from experiencing the fullness of life. To truly live is to immerse yourself in the present moment, not as you wish it to be, but as it is free from judgment and resistance. Judgment is one of the primary barriers to presence. The mind has a tendency to label everything good, bad, right, wrong, pleasant, unpleasant. These labels create a mental narrative that separates you from the raw experience of life. For example, when you encounter a challenge, the mind immediately assigns blame or seeks solutions, pulling you into a cycle of mental noise. In doing so, you miss the opportunity to simply be with what is, to feel the moment fully, and to allow it to reveal its wisdom. Resistance is another obstacle. When faced with discomfort, pain, or uncertainty, our natural instinct is to resist. We want to push away unpleasant feelings, avoid difficult situations, or control outcomes to suit our preferences. But resistance only creates more suffering. The more you resist, the tighter the grip of discomfort becomes. Paradoxically, it is in surrendering to what is, in fully accepting the moment without trying to change it, that freedom arises. Being present requires a shift in awareness. It is about moving out of the incessant chatter of the mind and into the stillness of your being. Start by paying attention to the simple things, the rhythm of your breath, the sensations in your body, the sounds around you. These anchors bring you into the here and now, where life is always unfolding. Presence also invites curiosity. Instead of judging or resisting, approach each moment with an open heart and a sense of wonder. If you feel sadness, don't label it as negative or try to escape it. Instead, allow yourself to feel it fully. Notice its texture, its energy, its depth. When you embrace the moment with curiosity, even the most challenging experiences lose their power to control you. Living without judgment or resistance does not mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means approaching life with a sense of acceptance and clarity. When you stop resisting, you gain the clarity to see situations as they are, not as your mind interprets them. From this space of presence, you can respond to life more skillfully and compassionately. When you allow the present moment to simply be, you begin to discover its richness. Even in the mundane, there is beauty. Even in the challenging, there is growth. Presence is where life becomes vivid, where you touch the essence of who you truly are. Living fully is not about chasing extraordinary moments, it is about being fully awake to the ordinary ones, for in them lies the extraordinary gift of life itself. From the time we are young, we learn to wear masks. Society, family, and culture often condition us to behave in ways that align with what is expected or acceptable, subtly teaching us to suppress parts of ourselves that might not fit the mold. Over time, we create a persona, a carefully crafted version of ourselves designed to gain approval, avoid criticism, and feel safe. While this mask may serve us temporarily, it ultimately becomes a barrier between who we truly are and the peace and joy that reside within. The mask of pretense arises from fear of rejection, fear of inadequacy, fear of being seen. It whispers that your authentic self might not be enough, so you compensate by presenting an image you believe others will accept. You smile when you feel like crying, agree when your heart says no, or strive endlessly for success because you think it will validate your worth. While these behaviors may bring temporary approval, they come at a great cost, a disconnection from your true self. Peace and joy are not found in striving or performing, they are inherent qualities of your true nature. Imagine a still, clear lake at dawn, untouched and tranquil. This is what lies beneath the surface of the masks you wear. But when you cover your true self with layers of pretense, it's as though you've thrown rocks into the lake, creating ripples that obscure its natural stillness. The more masks you wear, the more ripples there are, and the further you drift from the serenity that is always within you. Removing the mask of pretense requires courage and self-compassion. It begins with the willingness to look inward and ask, who am I when I'm not trying to impress, please, or conform? At first, this can feel uncomfortable because it means facing the parts of yourself you may have hidden or ignored. But this discomfort is temporary, and what lies beyond it is freedom. When you start to drop the mask, you create space for authenticity. Authenticity doesn't mean being perfect, it means being honest with yourself about your feelings, desires, and needs, and honest with others about who you truly are. As you embrace your authenticity, you'll notice a profound shift. The weight of pretending lifts, and you begin to feel lighter, more at ease. Authenticity invites true connection. When you are genuine, you attract relationships that are based on mutual understanding and respect, rather than superficial appearances. These connections nourish your soul and remind you that you are loved, not for the mask you wear, but for the essence of who you are. The peace and joy of your true nature are always present, waiting for you to uncover them. The mask of pretense may feel like protection, but in reality it separates you from these gifts. By shedding the mask, you step into the wholeness of your being, a space where peace is your foundation and joy flows naturally. In a world that constantly measures success by external achievements, approval, and validation, it is easy to lose sight of your intrinsic worth. The opinions of others can feel like a compass directing your every move, while societal standards shape your desires and decisions. But chasing external validation is like pursuing a mirage. It never truly satisfies, leaving you feeling empty and yearning for more. True liberation arises not from gaining the approval of others, but from recognizing that you already possess everything you need within yourself. External validation is fleeting by nature. One moment you may receive praise and recognition, and the next criticism or indifference. When your sense of self depends on these shifting opinions, you become like a leaf in the wind, blown about by the unpredictable currents of the external world. This instability can create anxiety, self-doubt, and a never-ending pursuit of perfection. It keeps you locked in a cycle of doing more, achieving more, and being more, all in the hope of feeling enough. The truth, however, is that you are already enough. Beneath the layers of roles you play and the masks you wear, there is a stillness within you that is unchanging and untouched by external circumstances. This stillness is your true nature, the essence of who you are. It is not something you need to earn or create, it is simply waiting for you to remember it. Connecting with this inner stillness begins with turning your attention inward. Instead of seeking validation from others, practice seeking it from within. Cultivate moments of silence and presence in your daily life. Sit with yourself, free from distractions, and notice the space between your thoughts. This space is where your true self resides, a self that is whole, complete, and unshaken by external events. Letting go of the need for external validation does not mean you stop caring about others or their opinions. It means you no longer let those opinions define your worth or dictate your choices. When you make decisions from a place of inner alignment rather than external pressure, your actions become more authentic and fulfilling. You begin to live for what resonates with your heart, rather than what impresses or pleases others. Liberation is not about isolating yourself from the world, but about finding freedom within it. It is about realizing that your value is not determined by accolades, titles, or social approval, but by the simple fact of your existence. When you anchor yourself in this truth, you become unshakable. Criticism loses its sting, praise no longer inflates your ego, and the constant need to prove yourself dissolves. In this state of liberation, you discover a deep and abiding peace. You no longer feel the need to chase validation because you are rooted in the unchanging stillness of your being. From this foundation, you can engage with the world authentically, not seeking approval, but offering your presence, creativity, and love freely. This is the essence of true freedom, living in alignment with your inner self and embracing the beauty of simply being. Thank you for engaging with this exploration of authenticity and liberation. May these words inspire you to step into your true self, embrace the present moment, and find the peace that resides within you. Remember, the path to a fulfilling life begins not by seeking outwardly, but by reconnecting with the essence of who you are. Live boldly, live truthfully, and let your presence illuminate the world.